Hey, welcome to the Neka Said podcast. And if you're new here, I'm Neka Williams, a planner girl, mom to an 8-year-old husband, and a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. At the end of 2016, I was happily fired from Amazon, which jumped off this online journey. After signing 2 clients within 10 days and booking out my services as a virtual assistant, I was thrown as the Facebook queen and Coach Neka was born. All that to say, I'm a virtual assistant and a VA coach helping women realize they don't have to choose between work and their family. You can have both. And if you're looking for financial freedom while also having family focus, this is the podcast for you. You'll learn how to grow a business that fits into your personal life and not the other way around. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Neka Said podcast. And today we're going to talk a lot about how to have a work-life balance. I know this is a big topic for a lot of us that are juggling so many pieces in our life. It's like, how are we going to balance it all? What is a good balance? Am I working too much? Am I not working enough? And so I'm going to touch on a little bit about how I actually have work-life balance. And it may be a little bit different than what a lot of people talk about. So when I think about work-life balance, I really think about is really no balance at all. Or it's no really any permanent fix. It's not anything that's a set in stone that I've been doing for the last 2 years in my business. It all changes. I always go with the flow, and I always have these ebbs and flows of business. And so sometimes I am spending a lot of time in my business, and sometimes I'm spending a lot of time with my family, and I am okay with that. And I think the first thing that a lot of people struggle with is they think they have to have all of the pieces in place. They think they have to have everything perfect. The house has to be perfect. The business has to be perfect. The kids have to be good. The husband or boyfriend has to be good. And it's some things you have to let go of that perfectionist piece of it, because some things won't be good at all times. That's just part of life. And so in the beginning, I was really burning myself out on making sure I was working 8 hours or whatever it was in my business, making sure the house was spotless at all times, making sure the kid was like well balanced, well rounded. It was like having this illusion that everything was going to be perfect at all times was really burning me out and was really causing me a lot of business. So it's losing a lot of clients, losing a lot of momentum, losing a lot of confidence in my business because I was trying to make everything seem so perfect. So the number one thing I'll always tell my clients and people that I talk to is let go of that perfectionist piece. It all won't look the same at all times. This month looks completely different than last month, especially this year from last year. And so just being okay with sometimes the house is your main priority. Sometimes your kids are your main priority. Sometimes your business is your main priority. And having those ups and downs and being okay with it is the number one thing that I always suggest. And this kind of goes into why is it so important to have work-life balance. Like I discussed, when you're trying to do it all and you're trying to make sure none of the plates fall and you're doing it all by yourself, you're a one-woman show, it can definitely lead to burnout. It can definitely lead to procrastination. It can lead to overwhelm. All of the things that will cause you to lose momentum in your business. So having those off days, having those days where you're not focused on business, you're just only focused on family time, and having those days where you're just extremely focused on your business is going to balance it out and keep things moving forward. And I tell my clients a lot too, it's not about how much you work in your business, it's what you work on when you're working in your business. So even if it's 2 hours, even if it's 30 minutes, whatever it is that you have to commit to your business, just make sure you're working on the right things that's going to move your business forward, whatever your goals are. And so even if you have most of the day is focused on your kids and you only have 30 minutes that you focus on your business, that can still move the needle if you're doing it the right things. If you're focused on tasks that's going to get you to the next steps, that's all that really matters. I think I struggled with a lot too when it came to like work-life balance. I didn't want to neglect my business and I didn't want to neglect people. I wanted to spread myself so evenly throughout every aspect of my life. And then I came to realize that wasn't really possible. I can't give 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, because there's going to be a lot of switching up. And sometimes my kids need more. kids. My kid needs more time. Sometimes my business needs more. Something is really on the verge of breaking, and I need to focus on my business. So just being okay with some things may fall off. And then when you're figuring out and you actually having things that are falling through the cracks and you can't through the cracks and you can't really balance it all, that's when you need to prioritize as far as what is really important to you. What is really going to move you to the next step? Is it actually working on the website, working on social media, working with clients? Or is it maybe just focus only on the clients right now and then use that money that you create inside of your business to invest in hiring help to actually get the other pieces going? So number one thing for me for my work-life balance is definitely my VA. I am a VA and I have a VA because it's so freaking important. I do not want to be tied to my business so much that I'm not able to live the life that I created my business for. We create this business because we are really tired of the 9 to 5 taking so much time out of our life. But then we go into business and we do the same thing in our business. We're tied to the business, and most of the time it's more than the 8 or 9 hours that we spend at work. It's a 12, 15-hour shift. So having that VA and prioritizing those tasks that are really what I really need to focus on is going to help me create that work-life balance, but also it's going to maintain my business even if I step away. So you really want to think about what things will keep you visible, what things will keep you known in the industry, what things will actually attract those clients to you, keep your business maintained while you're actually spending more time with your family, and prioritizing, making sure you're focusing on the right tasks when you are working on your business, and also hiring help, whatever that looks like for you. It's going to help you maintain your business when you step away and enjoy that time with your family. Another thing that has helped me kind of with the work-life balance too is actually setting a schedule for my business. I am the type of business owner that I can work on my business all day because I actually love what I do. I love my business. So it's really hard for me to step away sometimes, just like when I am binge watching Netflix and it's always those cliffhangers that keeps me intrigued and ready to work on the next thing. It's the same thing in my business. It's always thinking about, okay, I have this in place, but this next thing can actually move it forward. So it's always about creating other content. I'm seeing a lot of people ask different questions inside the groups, and um I'm so bent on helping everyone that I want to just sit there in my business and create so much content. But sometimes I have to let go. I have to say, okay, that is enough for today. I can do some of these things for tomorrow. So having that schedule and time blocking out those different things that I work on in my business during that specified time that I have set aside is another way that I actually keep my work-life balance. When it's the end of the day, end of the shift for me to take off my business hat and kind of go and relax with my family, then whatever isn't done, then it has to go on to the next day. Um, Now, it does not mean that this is how every day works, especially when I have something that's really important to get done. Of course, I will work additional hours, but I do not try to make that my norm. I try to disconnect as much as I can from my business because it keeps me inspired to keep creating more content too. So, I know a lot of people they want to work because they want to get fast results, but also that can lead to burnout, like I discussed before, and it all can also kill your inspiration. Like you really won't know what to create because you've been sitting there focused on your business for so long, for so many hours. So it's definitely good to step away, and that's actually when the creative juices start flowing. Because when you step away and you're actually doing other things, and then you have so many ideas of what you can work on in your business. So the main ways that I actually create my work-life balance or have work-life balance is I definitely set aside a schedule as far as what days I will be working in my business, at what times I will be working in my business. I prioritize my tasks while I'm working during that time in my business. And I also hire a VA to kind of help me step away and keep my business running when I am focused on other things that are outside of my business. Um, So always remember that this is not a permanent fix. Your work-life balance will look super different in the next 2 to 3 months, a year, 6 months. It will always be changing because different things will happen in your business and in your life that you may need to focus more so on those things. So it is okay to step away from your business. Stepping away from your business will not kill your business, especially if you are prioritizing scheduling different things that will keep your visibility up while you are doing other things outside of your business. So make sure you are using schedulers to kind of like get your content out there, even when you are not actually working in your business. Make sure you are actually hiring help to kind of keep your business going while you are enjoying life. And just prioritize any kind of tasks that you are doing when you are working in your business. So those are my top 3 tips as far as how do I have work-life balance. And I'm so happy you guys were able to check out this episode. Go ahead and subscribe to the Neka Said podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud. Leave me a review if you're enjoying these episodes. I will see you in the Virtual Assistant Club Facebook group and at Coach Neka on Instagram. I love you guys and thank you so much for support. Until the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you check back next week for another amazing episode with actionable tips to grow your online business. In the meantime, leave a review and let me know your thoughts on today's episode. And if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my Instagram page at Coach Neka. Come hang out with other women on the same journey in the private free Facebook group, the Virtual Assistant Club. And remember, every day you're one step closer to the dream life you want. Keep going, girlfriend.